This podcast is brought to you by the Ginger Camel Network. Visit us at www.gingercamelnetwork.com. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching, whatever time you're listening. Welcome to Your Onion Podcast Show. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Remi. Now I'm going to try and pronounce his surname. Van Peteghem.
Yeah, Van Peteghem is good.
Van Peteghem. Remi is the executive chef of the Intercontinental Hotel The City.
Yeah.
Here in Doha. So welcome, Remi.
Thank you.
So I've told what you'd actually do. So can you just give us a brief insight into your responsibilities on a day-to-day level before we go back in time?
All right. I'm in charge of everything related to food. So it doesn't matter which outlet. It starts from the cafeteria for our colleagues, which is the busiest restaurant in the hotel. We serve around 800 lunch, dinner, and breakfast, so it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And then I'm overlooking all the operation. Of course, I'm not by myself. I have all my sous chef, executive pastry chef too. So it's just to make sure that everything is in a good way to provide the food correctly to our guests. So I'm not really cooking anymore. I'm just more like an organizer to make sure that they have all the good tools to provide a good food.
So before we go back in time, so how does that feel? You know, because that is your life. That's been your life for so long, cooking.
Yeah.
And then you're given a position where you're not cooking anymore.
Yeah, but when I started my career at the age of 16, I never thought being an executive chef. For me, I was focused about fine dining restaurant, Michelin stars, all this high level of restaurant. But I never planned my whole career at the beginning.
Okay.
So I look about opportunity and about suggestion, and I move a little bit. And when I did a big angle to my career was in Hong Kong. I was a chef de cuisine for a French restaurant, but I feel I start to be bored. Could be weird, but yes, I was
for cooking.
Not
being
about cooking, but about only managing one restaurant. And I asked myself, will I do that for my entire career? Spending my time in one kitchen, overlooking for one restaurant? It was not enough exciting for me.
Okay. All right. Before we carry on, let's go before that then. When you were a child, who inspired you to...
Okay, so it's very weird.
Yeah, go on then. Tell us.
I'm not a passion chef from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I came to the kitchen by luck.
Oh, okay. So what were you... Okay, so you were at school. Did you go to university?
I was at school. I was a very bad student, and I was
one of these troublemakers that sits at the back, messes around.
Exactly, sleeping in the back, snoozing a lot, and when you are 15, you don't think about your career, about the future. No. You just want to enjoy your life.
Absolutely.
But my parents start to be a bit scared and concerned about that, and they ask me, "What you want to do for your career?" I don't know. And by chance, we had my parents had a friend who suggests why he doesn't do any apprenticeship.
Yeah.
It could be a waiter or a chef. I said, well, why not? I will learn something. I will have a salary. So
was this friend of theirs in the restaurant business?
She was overlooking all the culinary and hospitality department in Paris. Okay. She was overlooking that, and she suggested that. I said, why not? But what is crazy, she could also suggest me to be a plumber.
Well, this is it. That's why I was asking. If she came from that industry, then yes, fair enough. She's suggesting, but she could have been in anything.
Definitely.
And you could have gone somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. It's really by chance.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I will try. So I did 1 week in a restaurant as a waiter, because when you are 15 with your school, you need to do a training.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a restaurant for 1 week. I said, whoa, I don't like it. So
as
I
a
said,
waiter.
okay, I signed for a chef. and I discovered a new world. I was living in an area of France, and I moved to Paris, and I discovered a new world. Completely.
Really?
About life, about cooking, about school. I became a good student because I gained some motivation. And to be honest, it was extremely tough when I went to my first position as a trainee. It was extremely hard. I learned 25 years ago in an old way. That means when you are a trainee, you suffer a lot.
Oh, I'm sure.
Through your,
you have to do everything, don't you?
Yeah.
You're literally...
And it was not in a good environment. I mean, about your chef de partie who is blaming you, not to say, it's good, you can do it, take your time.
No, yeah.
It's just about some birds' words, and you do it, otherwise you go out. So,
but that kept you going. That didn't put you off. That was like...
No, definitely. I was extremely motivated because I was discovering so much things.
See, that's fascinating. You know, being at school, being the one that was just, life's good, just take it easy, and then suddenly being in an environment where it's a lot of pressure,
definitely,
a lot of stress, and you're like that.
But I think I should need that because if I continue on the same path, I don't know where I will be today.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But it was a good way to wake up myself, and it was awesome. I remember my parents called me in the restaurant around 10, 11 p.m. to say, where is my son? He's only 16 years old. He's working 16 hours a day, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
He needs to take time. And I was calling my mother after that, Stop calling my chef. I want to continue to work. Yes, it's tough, it's unusual, but I love it.
You love it.
And I fall in a very good restaurant. It was Carré des Feuillants. It was a 2 Michelin star. And my career started like this. And I continue then after. I did another
So how long was your apprenticeship? How long did
2 years in that restaurant.
Okay.
And then I moved to another place to have my baccalaureate.
Okay.
And I was very good at school too. So my parents said, "Wow, continue your school. It's very good." I said, "No, it's enough. My place is not in a school. It's in a kitchen."
Yeah.
So I started like this, and it was extremely nice, but extremely tough.
Yeah. So after that.
So I moved to a small restaurant named Il Cortile. It was
in Paris.
In Paris.
Yeah.
Italian restaurant managed by Alain Ducasse. Very tough. It's very simple. I think my first 20 years was very tough.
Really?
Yeah. But it's part of the job. And I spent 1 year there, and after that I moved to Le Grand Véfour, 2 Michelin star. I was very lucky to be in that restaurant when they gained their 3rd Michelin star. So it was amazing for me.
So when you say amazing, what were the things that were really, really kind of getting you excited? Was it the chef that was running the kitchen, or was it, the people that were working around you? What kind of, or was it the food that you were preparing? What was it that you
It's a whole thing, but when you are young and you think, you dream about Michelin star, about the top level. At that period, only 21 restaurants get 3 Michelin star. And suddenly, you are part of that.
You're part of that.
And you become very proud of you, and it's a dream you can touch, and you can be part of it. And it's become amazing, and in my mind I say, I will definitely continue on that.
Yeah.
So I spent 1.5 years there, then I moved to Alain Passard at L'Arpège, also 3 Michelin star. I stayed only 6 months because I was not very happy about the environment. So
oh, really? Okay.
It's happened. So after I moved to a restaurant named with Christian Lesquer, Le Doyen. And it was extremely nice. Very tough. I spent 3 years there, but also I was again very lucky because we gained our 3rd Michelin star again. So in my career, being part of this winning award was
How does that work? Can you give us a little insight in how a restaurant gets a Michelin star? What's the process that
The process
happens?
is you need to give the best of you and your team and to follow the instruction of the chef. And
But are you monitored to get that star?
we are monitored by the chef. The big boss is everything is belong to him. So that means he need to be sure that all he has in mind become real, exactly like he want.
Okay.
And then you have some mystery shopper. They come, they try your food.
The mystery shoppers, so you never know when they're in.
No, and it's why our job is so difficult, because you cannot come to work to say, oh, I'm in a bad mood, so I will do my job like that. No.
You can't.
When you go into the kitchen every day, every service, you need to be 200%. Because in case the mystery shopper come, he can give you a third Michelin star, but he can also demote you.
Oh, really? You can have that taken away?
Definitely.
Oh.
So it's a lot of pressure, and it's a daily pressure.
So 3 Michelin stars, what does that mean? If you get 1 Michelin star, that means what? That you've had one person come in and you've been given a star?
It means that you have a specific cuisine with focus on quality, consistency. Because sometimes when they feel, oh, you should have 1 Michelin star, they will not give you right away. They will come back again.
Oh, okay.
They will check you.
Right.
They will maybe ask for exactly the same dishes to be sure you do it well.
Wow.
Because our job is to be consistent.
Yeah.
It's extremely important, because in the end the guest, he pays the same price. So on Monday, it should be exactly the same like on Tuesday.
Absolutely.
And it's why it's very complicated, because you need to be on top every day.
Well, what happens? Okay, look, now you're the executive chef, but what happens? So you're running all the restaurants, but what if you get the sense that one of your chefs isn't, right, is not feeling, you get that feeling that he's come in, he might have issues at home, etc. How do you deal with that? Because you've got to cater for the restaurant, and your chef's not 100%.
Definitely. What I do now, because I a little bit more mature in my position.
Yeah, of course.
I will speak to him first.
Okay.
And I want to learn. Did we do something wrong with you? Do you have any issue at home?
Mm-hmm.
Just to find a way that we can assist him to be sure he can perform in a good way. If we see it's a very strong issue, I prefer to send him back to home.
Yeah.
Like this, he can fix this issue and come back when he's 100%. And that means the job he will not do, we need to find a solution to be sure that it's made.
Yeah. Do you step in, or?
Sometimes when the team is small, I do by myself.
Okay.
I'm still a chef.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So I can handle it. And if we have a big team, we organize a little bit different. So, because in the end, doesn't matter any issue we have in the back, we need to perform well.
Yeah.
So the guest, in the end, he doesn't want to learn, oh, one of my chefs is sick, one of my chefs has a bad mood today.
No, exactly.
Matter.
No.
So it's my responsibility.
Like the kitchen is like an engine of a car. You always want to have it running smoothly.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what's happened, if you have some bad petrol, bad weather, and some sand going to the engine.
The same output.
And it's my job. It's my job to find all this solution. I have my sous chef. Their job is to follow my instruction, to follow the recipe, and to make sure we deliver the food correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here to find all this solution before them. For me, I'm the solution finder, and my sous chef, they are just here to do their job.
Yeah, absolutely. So, most of your experience was in Paris, or did you venture elsewhere?
I spent a lot of time in Paris, so I continue my career. I opened a restaurant. It was my first place of chef de cuisine. I spent 4 years on that restaurant.
Was that a big learning curve for you?
Yes. It was a dream. Because for me, being a chef is the last step. And of course I was looking for a Michelin star. So the competition in Paris, it's extremely hard because you have a lot of very good restaurants, and to obtain this Michelin star takes a lot of hard work and time. But after 3 years I gained my Michelin star.
I suppose you can't just send an invite. You just. Is there a lot of marketing with the restaurant to get the message out there, or is it just word of mouth, or how do?
Yes, it's by mouth. People know then when a new restaurant is opening, even if there is a lot of restaurants in Paris, but everyone know about the new opening and they look forward for that. But if you are not good enough, you need to show you are a good guy, and you can be awarded by one Michelin star. But it took me 3 years.
3 years.
Because I was not, to be honest, I was not ready at the beginning to have this level of food. So I work a lot for the 2 first years to be sure that I am on top of the standard to gain a Michelin star.
And I'm just curious, did you invite Mum and Dad for the opening of the restaurant? Was that a proud moment?
Yes, I'm very proud, and my parents are also very proud. They've been in all the restaurants I used to work before because they want to see where is my environment and what I'm becoming. So when I was on that restaurant, it was named Le Sensing. It's closed now. They were very proud of me because I achieved one of my dreams to be a chef de cuisine. Yeah. And 3 years after I gained my Michelin star, they were also very proud. I was also very proud. Yeah. But after gaining it, I feel something is missing. The challenge to get the Michelin star was gone.
Yeah. And so now what?
I knew that I cannot have a second Michelin star on that restaurant. So I decided to change completely my mind and to say, okay, I'm here since 15 years in Paris. I should see something else. So I completely changed my mind, and I applied for a position in a French restaurant in Hong Kong with Peninsula brand.
Okay.
So it's a big gap.
Absolutely.
But
big change.
It was what I was looking for. A new motivation, a big challenge. Also for my private life, it's completely different because you go for another region with different person, and I was looking for that because I'm very curious, but not only about food, about culture, people.
Well, yeah,
everything.
You've literally jumped from what you're comfortable with to something that, you've got a new target audience, you've got a new, culture, as you say.
Yeah, but we need to go out of our comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you never grow.
No.
So I spent 4 years in Hong Kong. It was extremely nice. I really enjoy. You are in the middle of Asia, so we travel a lot with my wife to discover a lot of country, and of course a lot of food. Because when I travel, I'm focused about the beach, the weather, but also about the food.
Well, the food.
Yeah.
And so did that open you up? Okay, you're in a French restaurant, but did that open you up to trying cooking new, Asian food?
I take some advice about this country, but I was not using this kind of food and ingredient and recipe in my restaurant because I was a purely French restaurant. But
not even with a little Asian touch?
No, because I was really focused on French because Gazi's in Hong Kong at the Peninsula is one of the oldest and most famous French restaurants.
Okay.
But it's always something you keep in mind, and now I can be free because I have different outlets. I can cook what I want, and I can use my twist about Asian side.
Okay.
And it's where in the Peninsula I decided to move as an executive chef position because I say, wow, it's so exciting. You start with breakfast. You have a big hit there, then you move to banquet, you have again a big hit, then you have your lunch, then you go to the bar, then you go to the cafeteria, then you go to another restaurant, you go to the Chinese restaurant. And the motion is so intense, and it's what I was looking for. I like when I'm always in the rush.
Yeah.
It gives me the feeling to be alive. When I'm waiting in my kitchen like this, when will be the next guest? It's boring.
Yeah, no, I get the feeling. You get off on stress and...
Yeah, when I start to be in a comfort zone, I just want to
Absolutely.
move out.
Okay.
So I asked my executive chef there, I said, I want to become an executive chef. So he told me, the next step is executive sous chef. And I was transferred to Peninsula, New York as executive sous chef. I spent 1 year there. It was
Just 1 year?
Yes.
Why?
Because I had another opportunity.
Okay.
I told you before, I don't do any plan. It's about opportunity.
So whatever knocks on your door,
Yeah,
and it's right, it feels right, then
as soon as I have, and my wife has the feeling, because my wife is the most important person
of course.
in my career, in my
Yeah.
professional
Yeah.
career, because everything depends on her. If she doesn't like the place where I will go, it will not fit.
No, happy
if I have
wife, happy life.
Exactly. If I'm happy about my private life, I will be happy in my
Absolutely.
professional
Yeah.
life. And if it doesn't work, you cannot go anywhere.
So she wasn't happy in New York?
She was really happy about New York. I love this city. It's just amazing. After being 4 years in Hong Kong, where it's also a very big hub, New York is just like a dream. So I was so happy. But I had the opportunity to come back to France as number one in one of the best hotels in Paris. So it's not something you can say, oh no, I want to stay more. And when you are a number one, like in my first restaurant, then in Hong Kong as a chef de cuisine, become again number two, it's a bit challenging. So then I had this opportunity back to France as a number one in a 5-star hotel, in a palace. I said, okay, let's go. And
how was that? And how long was that?
I spent a little bit more than 1 year in Paris.
Just 1 year. It's getting shorter and shorter. You know,
Yes.
4 years, and then
Because I didn't feel anymore at home. Because I changed a lot. During 5 years in New York, in Hong Kong, my mind changed a lot. And I came back in my routine in France,
You didn't like it?
and I didn't like it. It's very simple. When you are an expat, when you come back to your country, it's either you love or you hate.
it's very true.
So at least we try. We try to go back to France, to our country, and it didn't match.
So you think this is your life, expat life?
Yes. Because we felt that in France, it's boring. Not because France is boring, because
yeah.
less challenge. I know the culture, I know the place, I know how it works. What is the challenge?
Yeah.
I want to learn. I'm 41 years. I want to continue to learn. I'm, let's say, half of my life, professional life. I want to continue.
Yeah.
And I say, I went in Asia, I went in US, I know Europe.
Yeah.
I need to go to Gulf region.
So was this the next step? Is this
Yes.
where you are now?
I wanted really to be in a Gulf region because the culture is amazing. So much things to do and so different culture. And about the food, just amazing because from France, when you speak about Arabic cuisine, it's one. When you are in Gulf region, you discover so many specific Arabic cuisine. And I'm so happy to learn about that. And now I'm still like a baby discovering a lot of
So you're
things.
still discovering that's what you get off, you know, that's
Yeah,
what you're
and
excited
I
about.
have this excitement that I have so much things to discover. Same like when I arrive in Hong Kong, when I say, wow, it's huge, so many things. So I'm always moving forward.
How, you know, with the, running a, you're the executive chef here. What are the frustrations that you find? Is it sourcing the ingredients, or do you feel that you can get all the ingredients?
It's not about frustration. It's part of the job. It's just about challenge.
Yeah.
And I like challenge. And yes, project here, it's complicated.
Yeah.
To be honest, I cannot have everything I want. I cannot just call and 3 days after from France I have a nice delivery. It's extremely challenging, but it's what I like because when you obtain it, when you have it in your restaurant, it's amazing. I will give you a specific item. When I arrived, I wanted a specific oyster. And because today we have only 1 or 2 suppliers able to give us some oyster, and you don't choose it, it's the supplier who tell you, oh, I have this available.
Oh, really?
I said, no, I don't want. I want my oyster. So I fight for 6 months to get it in. And today I have it in Intercontinental.
So do you tell the supplier, okay, no, this is what I actually want, and do they then have to source it?
I spoke with different suppliers, and I told them it's very simple. The oyster farm, I know, it's a friend of me. I can put you in relation, but just liaise with them, with different consolidator. Just try to get it in. And I spoke with, I think, 3 or 4 suppliers, and they were not able to do it. But finally, I find another supplier, and he made the deal, and now I have it. So I call my friend in France. I say, oh, I want this oyster, this size, and the week after I have it here.
But when you say suppliers can't do it, what they can't be bothered, or they can't? Because surely, if you say, look, this is the contact, you need to talk to him.
Yeah, but it's like we said, it's being out of the comfort
out of the box,
zone.
yeah.
So, and I have some challenge, but I am also challenging my supplier. And some react in a good way to say, you want this? Okay, I'm your supplier. I will make sure you have it. I will find a solution. And I like this positive attitude.
Do you think, because I've spoken to a few chefs, and that seems to be the norm now, is that the chefs are really saying who they want their supplies to come from, because that's kind of their signature in a way.
Definitely, every chef has their mind, their way to cook with which ingredients they want. Yeah. And it's why all the chefs have a specific cuisine, and it's why the guests go to that restaurant.
Yeah.
And if everyone has the same supplier, the same ingredient, so the chef need to cook the same recipe, what we give to the guest? They come to Doha, okay, you have different name, different chef, but in the end you eat the same food?
Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
We need to be focused on our guest, not about what's available. So yes, of course, I fight a lot. I spend a lot of time, but it's for my guest. I do that. And now I can be very proud to say I am the only one in Doha, in Qatar, to be able to give you this oyster.
Yeah.
And it's a unique oyster. The name is Pratarkum. And it's from Brittany. It's unique. It's one of the best oysters you can get in France. And it's only in the Intercon.
Wow.
And it's a little story. It's why also I fight a lot for that, because it's 20 kilometers away from my family house. And when I was young, I was going there to have my oyster.
No, really?
But my father, when he was 12, 14, by bicycle, he went there to buy also this oyster. So it's a very good oyster. I love it, but it's also a part of my...
sentimental.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can tell that to the guests. And the
absolutely.
guests, when they learn about the whole story about this oyster, they feel really happy and pleased, because we fight to give them something different and unique.
Well, it makes them special as well. It's not you're not just a number. You're an actual valued person that comes into the...
If you respect your guests, they will feel it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you treat them as unique, even if for a brunch we do 100 guests or 200 guests, I want to give the feeling that they are all unique. It's why I'm working a lot about ingredient sourcing and about the recipe, because it doesn't matter if we have 100 different dishes, every single dishes need to give some memory in mind. So it's very challenging, but I prefer to do a little bit less, but to be sure that what I give is what I want.
Very nice.
For example, the beef terrine, when you will eat it, you say, oh, he did it only for me.
So this is what we've got, is a beef terrine?
It's a beef cheek terrine with vegetable and some parsley.
So if anyone's watching, you can actually see it. It's beautifully presented. It's like a square cube.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you...
But when you eat it,
yeah,
you will feel, wow, I am in a little bistro on a terrace in Paris or in the middle of nowhere in France. It's 100% what you could have in France. And it's what I want to bring to my guests. It's real food.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Real recipe. And this one is very healthy, because there is no cream, fat, butter, oil, nothing.
Yeah.
It's purely about the product and the way it's cooked.
Nice. So moving forward, You've been here, how long you been in Doha?
6 months.
6 months?
Yeah.
Is there, a plan moving forward, or just...
I don't have plan.
No, just see how it goes. Are you going to be here for the World Cup?
Yeah. My commitment to my GM is I will stay for you until the World Cup, because for me it could be very interesting.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't know.
You don't know.
And I'm not looking for the next step, because I'm sure until the World Cup, a lot of things will happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I cannot manage that. So let's see. Maybe I will have some good opportunity. I never know.
No.
And I don't want to plan it.
Good. Well, I've been to the Prime Restaurant. I've experienced, and I've also been to the French patisserie.
La Parisienne, yeah?
Yeah, beautiful. So I highly recommend it.
It's about the soul you want to put in cooking. And everything we do, we have a message to give. It's, when we open La Parisienne, it's about, French product, French baguette, but it's also about memories. When people, French person, for example, they come in La Parisienne to buy a baguette, they don't buy a bread. They buy a piece of memory from their country, and it's what makes me so proud.
Yeah.
It's not because it's a very good baguette, it's about people will remember their childhood, about their country, and we all miss our country sometimes. And when you have this, you feel transported in your country suddenly, and it's what we want to give to.
No, absolutely. Well, thank you, Remi. We've run out of time. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you. I hope
it's been a culinary discovery journey, and yes, love to have you on the show in the future if there's any developments or any news coming up.
I will keep you
absolutely keep us informed.
I will keep you informed, but a lot of things are moving forward in the hotel. So
superb.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week. Take care. Bye-bye. This podcast has been brought to you by the Ginger Camel Network. Visit us at www.gingercamelnetwork.com.